Welcome to the live stream, everybody. We're going to take an overall look, just a very quick look at the health of Bitcoin, kind of where we're standing in the long term, medium term, short term. But more importantly, the MDX ALGO indicators did just have a new update this morning, so we're going to take a look at some of the changes. This is going to be brand new to probably most of you guys as well as myself, so if there's some answers I don't have for you, like I said, it's brand new to me too, so it'll be cool to look into that. And as well, we'll be taking a look at some random meme coins because the meme coin market has been going nuts. And I mean, what kind of a degen would I be if we didn't take a look at some of those? So yeah, to get started, just looking at the price of Bitcoin as far as structure goes, I think like mid to long term, I think we're in a very good position here. I touch on this every video. We had a low here, we had a lower low. The highest point between those two would have been right here. This was our lower high on a macro structure time frame here. The fact that we got above that and then so we set a high here and we have set a higher high once again, so now we have a higher low confirmed here where I have this green line. So basically, as long as we're staying above that level, I'm going to remain bullish on Bitcoin. I know obviously we can bounce around a little bit, whatever. And you know what? Maybe we do get a fake out, end up testing kind of down lower and just start staircasing back up. That's totally fine. But as it stands right now, I mean, I won't even consider being overly bearish until we end up losing that structure. If we end up dropping below that line, kind of respecting it, just flipping it from support into resistance, then I would become a lot more cautious in this market. But as it stands right now, I think we're in a good place. If we do end up dropping that level, I think it makes a lot of sense that we'd end up testing some sort of an upward trend line for like a third touch point. Going to consider this one touch point, 2 touch points. So if we drop that support, I think it makes sense we would retest that line. But until we drop that level, I mean, support is support until it's broken. So that's all there is to it. On the macro time frame, you guys know my opinion on that. I really do think the bull trap is going to be much higher, so I think that we are going to get some sort of a short squeeze eventually here. I wouldn't be too surprised to test these levels in the next month or two. But I really do think when we test that structure, the Fibonacci level, nice bull trap, nice round number, getting close to that 50K. I mean, I just think that's recipe for disaster where we end up getting some kind of a big pullback and kind of test right back down to the levels we're at right now before starting the actual parabolic bull run. I think after we end up closing weekly candles above this yellow line, just like you can see what happened in previous market cycles, very explosive move that typically follows that in these market cycles. So something to pay attention to there. But yeah, let's hop right into some degen coins here because, as I said, I think Bitcoin's in a fairly good spot. So then hopefully in turn, the altcoin market should be in a good spot. So yeah, let's just take a look. First thing I want to do is bring up the MDX ALGO indicator settings here because obviously you can tell right away that things do look a little bit different on the ALGO 3. And like I said, this is going to be new to me, so this is exciting too. Just to show you kind of how I have my settings, you'll notice I don't have the long and short signals. That's just me personally. I like to have a fairly clean chart. This cloud, this resistance, it looks kind of like a Ichimoku cloud. I don't know if that's exactly what that is, but that's kind of what it looks like to me, just resistance support cloud. So that's very cool. Just a little more of a broad look at the market structure rather than a pinpoint accurate line. I'm a big fan of having zones like that rather than just one spot. So I like this. Obviously, I haven't done any back testing with this. I haven't really used it at all yet, but I kind of like where this is going already. Just for my degen settings, you guys are probably familiar, those of you who have been in my sessions before. Just when I'm scalping the 1 minute and stuff like that, I like to have my first trend on the volume weighted moving average, and that's the 5 minute time frame. And my trend 2 is the EMA on the 1 hour. And there's no magical number that's going to work every time with trade setups, anything like that. This is just what I kind of started playing around with a little bit on my 1 minute charts, and I've just kind of liked it. But any number you put in here, it's all about finding something, some sort of a system that it can work with how you like to catch the market, because everyone sees the charts a little bit different, right? So if you have auto settings selected, then it would automatically change this. Well, it would stay as these numbers, but if things aren't changing, like you're trying to change the type of moving average, you're trying to change the time frame, and nothing's happening on your chart, it's probably just because you have auto settings selected or something like that. One other thing I want to mention before we get too far here is things might look a little bit funny on your indicator when you first install it or first put it up on your trade view. So make sure you right click on something, or just hit your three dots on the MDX ALGO 3, visual order, bring to front. That'll make everything look nice and sharp like this. And also right click on the price at the side and select scale price chart only. Those are two things that you want to do on all your charts when you're using these algo indicators. With that, let's just see what else is new here. Yeah, like I said, I don't typically use the long and short signals here, but you can see they'll come up if I select that. Apparently the speed is being worked on to cleaning up code and stuff like that. So if it does seem a little bit slow, I mean, obviously it's a fresh update, so might just take a little work, but yeah, this just looks beautiful. You can see right now we got this little bit of a long position showing up here. Let's just see. This is one thing that a lot of people absolutely love about this indicator is the trade setup here. So I'm just going to turn that on, see how that looks right now. Oh, you can see we're getting this green cloud forming. That's cool. One thing I really like about this, and I talk about this every video pretty much too, is when you have this trade setup, I personally like to select my own entries. I usually don't pick entries just based on the long and the entry here. But what I really do like using this for is the take profits, because something that's easy to do if you're in a winning position, think you're the smartest person in the world, and it's easy to want to double down, triple down on a position because you think you're correct and you're going to the moon, it's a home run trade, whatever. When in reality, maybe you should be starting to take profits, and this indicator does a hell of a good job just kind of slapping you in the face with that, giving exact targets like that. So that's something that I do really like with that. I just typically don't have those things on my chart just because, like I said, I just like to have my charts fairly clean. I more so have strategies, and you can check on some of my old videos. I have strategies revolving around using the reversal warnings and the trend confluences. Basically, I've taken some positions in some of these videos in the past with those. So that would be, you know, something like this actually, where you get the reversal warning, that's the orange W, right along the trend confluence there. That's something that I typically like to see. Quite often enter positions based on that. It's still good to have like double bottom, triple bottom, see bullish divergences, that sort of thing. So you're just kind of using these as confluence, right, guys? But yeah, so I actually did take, you can see this blue dotted line here. I am in a bit of a long scalp on Doge. Basically, as we were testing the 1 hour confluence, I thought this was going to be a bit of a fake out. Had we closed a second candle below this trend confluence, I probably would have bailed on my position. But I was just looking at starting a small position here. And basically, if we got right back above, I was going to consider it that maybe we have a bit of a fake out. If not, my stop loss was nice and tight, so it wouldn't have been that bad of a loss had that happened after we got back above here, obviously. As it stands right now, I did end up locking in a little bit of profits and updating my stop loss to break even, which will be just below this 1 hour trend confluence. So that's kind of how I like to use that. I use this 1 hour trend quite religiously with these indicators. I don't typically just set blind orders, but especially if I'm able to watch my positions, if I'm at the screens, then I'm comfortable taking positions like this. So that's kind of what got me into a Doge position there. Now what I would really like to see to grow confidence in this position, I'd love to see some W's start forming higher, just seeing a bit of higher lows coming in as those reversal warnings. It just kind of helps outline the trend a little bit. Right now, if I wasn't already in a decent long position, I would be considering scalping a short just because we have the exact opposite, right? We have two W's, one is lower than the other. So just showing that the trend may be shifting. If that was to basically, if we got kind of above any of this structure back here, I would definitely be looking at bailing on that position. But yeah, that's just something I've been playing around with for the last week or two, just looking for positions based on that. Really, you could even tighten up your stop loss if you were more degen, more on a higher leverage. When you have these this trend spotted like this, you could really just have your stop loss a little bit over that second W. So it'd be a nice tight stop loss, just looking for a scalp like this, kind of get back down to some structure, take profits, that kind of a thing. But I'm hoping this 1 hour trend does end up carrying on a bit of a trend, so that's why I'm just leaving a loose stop loss, just basically at break even on the rest of my position, just to hope that trend holds. But let's get into some more degen. I mean, Doge just isn't enough for me anymore, so let's hop over to, I got a little bit of PEPE chart mapped out. I was touching on this MONG coin in the micro group chat there. I mentioned I took a bit of a long position, just kind of going off of this retest here. Gonna see how this goes. There is not much price history here. We can't get much more degen than this, trading with leverage on something so new. I'm only using 2x leverage on this because it is just so volatile. And using small positions, because this is one of those things that it's either going to be a Hail Mary, kind of like if you guys were in I think it was my previous stream, I ended up taking like a 10x long on AI Doge. And the next day we ended up being at like a 1600% profit or something like that. Basically, we had this kind of a chart, except it was coiled up a little more. And we kind of got just consolidating on top of the old all-time high, something like this. And that's where I pulled the trigger, and we took a bit of a long last week. Like I said, that was AI Doge, and it absolutely crushed it. So I'm hoping to catch kind of something like that, something similar with whatever this meme coin is. Again, I don't know what it is. I just draw colorful lines and trade them. So get right into the 1 minute on a brand new coin here. Yeah, doesn't get much more degen than that. But yeah, we'll also bring up the indicators, obviously. Actually got a long signal off that. The thing with that is the long signal, I wouldn't consider it verified until the candle closed, so that would have been way up here. So that's just kind of one of the reasons that I don't always have those long and short signals on. Like I said, I like to have my charts very clean, so I'm actually going to get rid of those right now. I'm just going to change a few of my settings. This is just kind of how I do it, you guys. I love having inverted colors, so we're kind of seeing the psychological side of seeing bright green as we're crashing down, so kind of helps you buy the dip, sell the tip kind of a thing. So yeah, invert color, trend 1, I'm going to use the volume weighted moving average again, and that's going to be the 5 minute. Trend 2 is going to be the 1 hour EMA. What else here? Moving average cloud, we'll keep that up, getting rid of that. And again, like I said, there's no magical settings that are going to be perfect. It just kind of depends what catches your eye, what works for you. It's important to do back testing, find out what works for you. But this is just kind of how I have my personal scalping settings, so feel free to copy them. Not financial advice, but that's just how I use mine. Make sure we have visual order, bring to front. Right click over here, scale price chart only, so everything's good. Oh yeah, this position, that was a beautiful little resist support flip there. Yeah, you know, I have a few friends that have always inverted their chart colors, and I never really got big into that until the ALGO 3 started doing that. I just love how these indicators line up with the colors. What I mean by that is you have the oscillator 4 up here, you know, you got a bright green in there with the bullish pivot. You can see the candles are turning bright green here as we come down and test that old resistance, new support. We start seeing the bright green on the oscillator 5 down here. I just really like seeing all three indicators line up like that. Very powerful confluence in my opinion. So that's kind of why I invert the colors. On the regular chart, I don't. I only do it when I have these indicators up. just personal preference. So that position's doing okay. This one is doing okay. Not in one on PEPE yet. Let's start dialing into this. Once again, gonna bring up just really quickly, set my preferences here. And once again, we'll make sure we have visual order bring to front. Perfect. So the indicators are all set up to the way I like it. Getting a reversal warning here. You know, I think I might close a little bit of my scalp here on MONG just because we had a W here. Behind that TP there is a W, and we have a lower W here. So I am going to close a little bit of my position here just as risk management and just showing you how I scalp. Because, guys, if I'm entering a position on a 1 minute trade, we're not looking for the type of runner that you get out of a 4 hour. That's where a lot of people have a hard time scalping, is they have a really hard time taking profits. Stu is the master with the algos. Well, I don't know about that, but I'll take it. So yeah, this position I'm in from down here, this is only a 2x, and we're already up 25%. So yeah, I'm just going to close half of that. Then we'll take a look at PEPE here. There we go. I'm just going to leave my stop loss how it is right now. All right, so things are looking good. Even got this support cloud coming in on the new ALGO 3 here with the new update. So that's nice to see that we're trying to get a little bit of support here. Like I was talking about, this thing is so new. I mean, on a 15-minute chart, this is all the data we have. So it's hard to say if the algos are going to be accurate or not. I guess we're going to have to see. There might not be a ton of data. Like the 1 hour trend. Yeah, we still got a lot of room below us until we would end up touching the 1 hour trend here. How big of a drop is that? Yeah, 15% correction to the downside for the 1 hour trend retest. So, I mean, like I said, these coins are so volatile when they're early like this. Important to be locking in some profits, updating stop losses, using proper bankroll management, you guys, and proper leverage. You guys know that I love throwing out a 20x Bitcoin trade or a 50x Bitcoin trade. On this, like I said, I'm on 2x with this. And even that made me a little uncomfortable. The trade's going good so far. This one, like I said, just closed half at about a 25% profit with Doge here. Oh, let me just, I got into my position down here, and I ended up locking in basically right here where it was looking like we were getting rejected off this trend. I just ended up taking about half my position there on a 20x Doge long. But yeah, gonna let the rest run. Hopefully this turns into a runner. Hope the trend carries it on. I'm usually very quick when I get into these scalping positions, guys. I'm very quick to close half of my position and then let the rest run and just kind of nickel and dime profits out of it as it runs. Just important to get that risk out of there when you're trading things like the 1 minute, especially with coins like this. PEPE is looking like this probably would have been a good short back here. I did end up MDX. I know that I saw you say that PEPE was an easy long, and that was basically from right down here. I did catch a bit of a snipe up. I can't remember where I ended up. I closed it basically right after this big candle closed, so basically right in this resistance box here. Just a nice little snipe I had earlier, but it was a small one. Literally just did another update, guys. Next update is solely for speed, so next week the indicators should get faster. Right on, right on. So yeah, guys, it sounds like the indicators will, like I was talking about earlier, they just take a little bit to load sometimes when you change the features, but the team is working on cleaning up the code, so it's actually just going to get faster in the next little bit. Yeah, I feel like since these are so volatile, I think I already missed the short here on PEPE. I think I really, I mean, looking back how I had this box mapped out here, just kind of looking at resistance back before we got up here, came back down, flipped that, into resistance once again. Obviously an important level. You can see that we just ended up getting rejected again. Actually, even there too. Important little resistance box there as far as a 5-minute chart goes. Yeah, you can see it was kind of rounding over. Oh, and even look at that. My favorite W with the retest of a trend, even though that isn't the 1 hour, that's still something I take fairly serious sometimes. So that could have been a nice little scalp. But like I said, I think I missed that one. And I talk about this in the group quite often too, you guys. I can be a little bit of a moon boy, and I much prefer long in things. So I just generally have a bit of a bullish bias. I do short sometimes, but I'm honestly a little more comfortable playing the long side generally. So that's just personal preference. How do you put that trend 9N or just in the trend in? So the trend, that would be, if I just go into the settings here of the MDX ALGO 3, we have trend 1 and trend 2. Trend 1 is the one that's a little more reactive because it's just my 5-minute volume weighted moving average. So that's this one that's ripping around a lot quicker. You can see we got a reversal warning as we were testing it as resistance there. So that was a beautiful little call there. Down here is the 1 hour trend. So that would be my trend 2 that's checked here. Hopefully that answered your question. The cloud, I assume it's a lot like the Ichimoku cloud, just basically a pocket of support, a pocket of resistance, rather than a very distinct line, very accurate line, just a whole general area that there's a whole, like here, I was just looking at this whole area as support. So that's kind of like, much like how a lot of people will draw trend lines and a lot of other people will draw boxes, much like rather than just a resistance line here, I have a box. So kind of a cloud rather than just a moving average type of thing. I don't know exactly what it's taken off of or anything like that. Like I said, this is all brand new to me too. But yeah. Almost seems like a bit of a moving average, like an exponential, what do you call it? A ribbon, almost like a ribbon, but shown as a cloud. Yeah, so a moving average, basically, cloud. Yeah, the cloud is an EMA cloud, yeah. And there's actually a few things you can change with that as well. So the moving average cloud, you can obviously change it to your liking. I have not played around with any of this, so I have zero say in what works best or what doesn't. How much does that change? Okay. Just beefing it up, basically. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm definitely going to have to play around with that. That's very cool. Yeah, that looks very cool. I'm a big fan of that change. I think that's going to have a lot of potential. It's going to be fun going back and finding, just looking for those reversal warnings and take profits and all that kind of thing. Seeing it line up with the cloud will just be that extra bit of confluence. I really like that. Double exponential. Yeah. Yeah, that can be quite powerful. That's for sure. Come on, Mong, keep going. Very, very micro analyzing here, but on the 1 minute, got a high here, got a slightly higher high, so we should have our higher low kind of down here. I'm still not going to update my stop loss just below that because with these new coins, I don't know. Like I said, I already closed half. I'd rather just let the rest run and hope this turns into a massive runner. Because if I just zoom out here, I will also be looking to take a little bit of profits if we do make it for a third touch point along this trend line. Quite often, ranges will start by basically just showing you how the range is going to be laid out. I mean, we'll get a couple wicks basically that just kind of are a warning where the third touch point is going to be, and we just basically connect those two touch points there. I think there's a good chance we end up testing this trend line a third time. Even if we are going to remain bullish, I would like to see us pull back after testing this a third time. Generally, when I look to play breakout trade positions, I like to see at least 3 touch points along a trend line before we break out and get that retest. If we only have 2 touch points like this and we just kind of smash right through, I just really don't think that this is all that important of a trend line at that point. I like to see at least 3 touch points before the break. That's just something I've back tested in the past and I've had good luck with, so but yeah, I would love to see us get some kind of a third touch point here, take a little more profits, then let it run, take maybe a little more profits, but I would love to add into a nice juicy long position if we end up looking for a blue sky breakout there, just like with AI Doge last week. Yeah, anything that's new like this, anything that is going to break all-time highs and consolidate above all-time highs and kind of flip that resistance into support, those blue sky breakouts can just be absolutely beautiful. Those things really, really get running. Because it's just in price discovery mode at that point. And really, at that point, I mean, the trend is your friend until the end. So as long as it's in price discovery, I mean, look what PEPE did. Anything new like that, once they break that initial structure, I mean, it's just off to the races. So I would love to catch a long position. That MEXC exchange has actually been good for getting some of these memes nice and early. And like I said, already leverage available in these kinds of things. And obviously, you guys don't be dumb with that. Like I said, I'm only using 2x leverage on something like this just because they are so volatile, and I'm using very small position sizes. Like, these coins are so risky. Don't go looking for a home run in them. They could easily go to zero. But the opportunity is there on some of those exchanges that they end up being there with leverage quite early. So a lot of potential, but a lot of danger. Yeah, this position's still going okay. Yeah, I'm really tempted to throw a short at this. I just don't know if I want to bet against the PEEP community right now. Is anyone else in a beautiful position on this or any of these meme coins? Or any positions, period? That only has 2 touch points before breaking down, so I'm not going to close that position yet. Probably end up stopped out at break even on the rest, but yeah, that's actually something I haven't really used much is Heiken-Ashi mode. I've seen great things with it. I've just never used it personally. But yeah, if you switch to Heiken-Ashi candles, and then you can check this box here, things just change a little bit with the algos. Here, I just want to see what the signals look like. And like I said, I have no idea how accurate this is going to be on some of these meme coins, but let's find out. Oh, very nice short call there. Very nice. Even though it would have bounced a little bit there, obviously stop loss above structure. Where would we? Oh boy. 11% dump there. That's a nice move. That caught a nice short there. And that's just on a 1 minute chart. Beautiful long call. Yeah, there's some very nice calls. So that's your cheat mode to short in PEEP all the time here. Life hacks. Something I typically like doing on positions once they turn into a runner. I think it's too early to do it with this position yet, but as you see the trend, the 1 hour trend specifically, start to climb, catching up to the price after you've moved quite a bit, and then you get some kind of a retest and get those reversal warnings along that, that can be such a powerful feature with these indicators, especially if you're already in a position kind of like myself right now, because at that point, if I got that retest, and obviously that's a lot of theoretical situation right now, but it has happened in the past where you see some kind of a retest at some point, see that reversal warning, and just add to my position because I'm able to update my stop loss so much because I'm just kind of playing it with the trend, the 1 hour trend at that point. That can be a very powerful position to be in, but that does only work in a trending market. So obviously, as the indicator specifies, I mean, these are trends, they're trend confluence, so they are designed for a trending market. So if you're in a choppy zone, I mean, those trends don't always work as good. So again, it is important to kind of backtest things and come up with your own conclusion, what your eyes catch, like I said. Like just everyone has their own trading styles and methods, so since we had this little high here, a bit of a higher high here, if we start closing candles below this little bit of support here, I might actually end up closing the rest of my Doge position. And Just looking for a new entry at that point. Very micro analyzing, but that's what the 1 minute's all about. So hopefully you guys find this useful when I show kind of how I use the indicators. I know the trading the 1 minute isn't for everybody. It's dangerous. It leads to over leveraging, over trading, revenge trading, all that degen shit that we should avoid. It's not for everyone. That's just the kind of the easiest way that I can kind of show different signals and stuff, different confluences that I use the indicators for. Honestly, these reversal warnings are a huge part of my analysis lately. And like I said, the trends, very, very cool features. I love the trends just because you can be on a smaller time frame, but you can have kind of a general understanding of what the longer time frames are doing. So even though I'm on a 1 minute chart, you know, I kind of see where that 1 hour support is. So that's what I really like about these. Oh, look at that. That's a nice little trend line there. Ooh. What are these blue dots here? I feel like that's not the Stotch RSI anymore. Oh, yeah. Probably is. I'm assuming anyways. Oh, is it not? When I do the next update, they should be orange. Reversal warnings. Yeah, nice. Nice. So, you know, maybe PEPE will do some magic here. I mean, got very close to a third touch point along this little support trend line here. I mean, this could mean that the bulls were just too excited to let it quite get down there. Maybe we're more so looking at that horizontal support. What are the other indicators saying? You can see we got some bullish divergences on the oscillator 5 down here, so that's nice to see. We did have this pivot on the oscillator 4, although that was a little bit early here. You know, if the price stays above this upward sloping trend line, it might be okay. MONG still doing okay. Yeah, look at that beautiful call. That blue dot there, right along that. Well, really, every time we retested this old resistance as new support, the indicator threw out some kind of a warning along that. So that's another thing that I really love these indicators for. If you're watching a trend line, quite often you'll see that the indicator is agreeing with you on that, and that's just very nice confluence to have as well. Like I said, when I play breakout trades and stuff like that, I really like to see those 3 touch points. So if I have 3 touch points along a trend line that I'm watching and the indicator, let's say, has reversal warnings or take profits every time it touches that exact trend line, then it's obviously a very important, very well respected area in the market, I guess, at that point. So even though it's not always going to work out perfectly, it's just a great confluence to have. So yeah, beautiful to see that even though this is a total shit coin that barely has any data on it, respecting the indicators and the trend line here being respected so perfectly. That's funny. And they say technical analysis doesn't work. Anyone else in anything juicy here? I shouldn't even say juicy because I didn't put a huge position here, but I'll take it. Oh, another nice change that I forgot to mention here is the market flow. They changed the market flow color. You can see that it's more the gradient color scheme. Matches up with the candle colors, kind of. Before, what was it? It was just a fairly hard to see gray line. It was fairly faint. It'll change in a second here. Yeah, so it's just a little harder to see. So I just love that that has also been changed. A little easier to see. Oh, and they will have market flow inverted color as an option next update as well. That's awesome. PEPE dumping on the 1 minute. Oh, yeah. I'm not brave enough to take that short, but I can see how it would play out, dropping a couple different support levels. But we're just testing other support. I don't know. I don't really want to touch this one right now, personally. Also, if we had an exact third touch point here and then broke below, that's one of those times where I'd feel a little more confident about it. But since we just had these, I'm going to count those as 1, 2, and we dumped right through after that. So I don't know how much significance that trend line holds. So I'm just going to sit tight on that one. Hate to do this, but let's zoom out a little. Yeah, you know, looking back, all Captain Hindsight again, being a bit of a dick. But even this just as a little bit of a double top right along that resistance box I had. Would have been a nice play, but I just feel like I missed my opportunity on that one. I feel like I want to be quite picky on these very degenerate coins just because, like I said, they are so volatile. I don't want to feel like I'm shorting late on this. Looking for more something super accurate like here. I mean, I obviously wouldn't have had much of a loss had I been stopped out on this play. Yeah, that's the thing with this whole PEEP community. I'm a little hesitant to bet against them. Also, I feel like there has been a little bit of bullish structure kind of formed here. Just really like zooming into the structure of the chart here. So we had a low here, we had a lower low here, and we had another lower low here. So this was our lower high structure technically on this little downtrend here. And the fact is we have gotten back above this level, and that's actually the bottom of my green support box here, which flipped into support absolutely beautifully. So there is still this little bit of a bullish structure here, in my opinion anyways. Since we got above this level here, I just really don't want to short late right into that potential support. This coin has been doing some wild magic the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if I want to bet against that right now. Nope. Looks like I am about to be stopped out on the other half on that guy, if I didn't yet. So, just hanging in there. And literally drops any more, I'll be stopped out at break even on the rest of that guy. This one I feel good about. I'm feeling good about this 2x Mong long. Anyone got any plans for the rest of the day or anything? Just staring at charts all day? Being a nerd like me? Yeah, still sitting in an 18% profit on this guy on the remaining half of that position. What does this look like on regular candles? About the same. Oh man, that's tempting to short. I just can't commit to that one. The candle bodies closing below makes me really want to, but I just can't pull the trigger as we're trading into this support box. Can't do it. Mong, I am trading on MEXC. That's where I've been trading. Well, I guess I've only taken a couple positions on PEEP, but AI DOGE, I'm trading it there. Mong is there already. Yeah, because I was meaning to just spot buy a little bit of Mong actually, and uh, it was only on Uniswap, but the gas fees were a little ridiculous, so I didn't really want to. And then I just noticed that it was a pair on MEXC. You can see I'm not even using the MEXC chart, so it actually might be slightly different. Wasn't even an option yet. So unfortunately, I have to use BitGet's chart, so I've noticed it is a little bit different, but very close. The structure's still the same. But yeah, I've been pretty impressed with how fast they're getting some of those new hype degen coins on there, and not just spot, but like with leverage as well. Not saying that's that should be encouraged, but it's nice to have that option if you're comfortable with it. Yeah, I think it's on gate.io as well. I think I did see it there. I don't have an account there. I see a lot of things showing up on there. Maybe I should have an account there. You know, the more I look at this, the more I'm tempted to long it. And the fact that, yeah, I mean, technically we had this low, lower, lower high. We obviously did break that, so that structure did technically change. So we kind of came right back down to these support levels. I'm wondering if I should throw a little long on PEEP. How big of a loss would this be? Let's say maybe a small 5xer. I'm gonna degen it up here. Little degen action on Le PEPE. Sunday fun day. What the hell, hey? Might regret it, but This might be dumb because, I mean, technically we dropped this support level, which could be flipping into resistance. This upward sloping trend line could be flipping into resistance. I just, the potential for this support here. Let's just check a little Fibonacci. Might come down just a little further. I would like to see us kind of hit this 886 and blast off from there would be nice. You guys know that, I mean, I haven't done much back testing with the Fibonacci's as far as some of these shit coins like this. But as far as Bitcoin goes and charts in general, I know I've shown it on the DXY a time or two. I love the 786 and the 886 fibs. As far as the macro time frames go, generally I like the 618, but really just in some of these ranges, I've seen these fibs be respected so well that when I do end up wanting to take a position, I do typically look for those levels. Same with the opposite way as well. You know, when you're getting that far down into the Fibonacci's like that, at least your loss is going to be a lot less significant because you've waited for almost a full pullback. Same thing if I was looking for a short. I mean, looking for a rejection point with the Fibonacci's rather than a bounce. So I'm going to pull top to bottom of this little swing, basically from where we set this high here down to this low here. If this long were to play out, I would definitely be strongly considering taking a bunch of profits in this Fibonacci pocket. If we kind of get some sort of a pop up here, I would be looking to close probably most of my position if we get back up to those levels. I love using the Fibonacci's for entry confluence as well as, like I said, taking profits. One of my favorite tools. Let's just zoom out a little bit, show you where this green box kind of came from. Just kind of a important reversal point in the market, like obviously strong support, support, support. Kind of flipped it into resistance, 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 support, support. So yeah, just a nice little pocket of support there potentially. So just another reason why I'm interested in just trying a little bit of a scalp here. I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I really don't like the candle bodies, even though it is just a 5-minute closing below this trend line. But like I said, just since it only had 2 touch points, I'm going to get rid of it because it never met my set of rules of 3 touch points before breaking. So I'm just going to get rid of it for now. I'm not just doing that because it doesn't fit my bias right now. I am doing that because it doesn't fit my rules. Very important to note there. Nice to see a reversal warning. Oh, actually, this is actually quite nice. We have a reversal warning along our 1-hour trend, and then another higher reversal warning just a little bit away from that trend. So that might also be just really showing us the ways that, you know, there is a bit of an upward trend here forming. I like to use those reversal warnings for that. That's on the 5-minute. LFG, StewTube, I'd say it's a decent move longing from here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, support is support until it's broken, so just looking for this support level here, as well as the Fibonacci on this very micro pullback here. Might get some kind of a bounce. Oh, I am officially out of that Doge position. Oh, and that looks like it might just be a double bottom. I'm really tempted to re-enter, but I'm not going to just because I have 2 other positions on the go here. Took a very minimal profit on that position. Yeah, that resistance cloud might pose a bit of a problem here. I'm just seeing if I can point out any obvious trend lines or anything. It's good to also turn off the indicators once in a while, check your own analysis, and see if the indicators are providing good confluence with your own analysis. So I'm just going to map out a few random trend lines here. I would love another touch point along that before breaking out. Let's make this one blue. And a little bigger. Let's just see if we can find a random freestyle trend line here. So, you know, that's another thing kind of lining up with this green box here is maybe we get a third touch point along there. Kind of trade down into the support box, meeting up with this trend line confluence. That wouldn't be too unrealistic. Problem with that is if it loses a diagonal support with horizontal support like this, I mean, it could be Nuketown real fast. And I could definitely be on the wrong side of this position. But that's why we have stop losses. BTC going down? Is that what I hear? Oh, I don't think I have the new updates on here yet. Let's just switch the old doggy chart over to BTC. Ooh, right on a trend line that I have mapped out from somewhere. A reversal warning. Oh, that's tempting to take along. But again, I'm in two positions. Gotta restrain myself. Nice to see, though. That's one thing that I love to see is when I get those reversal lines on something I'm already watching. Like I was talking about seeing those on trend lines. That can be absolutely beautiful. And I mean, you guys saw I loaded this chart and we were right there. So it's obviously an important level. Let's just zoom out a little, see if I can find what I was even looking at. Just a bit of a resist support flip zone. PEPE trying to bounce. Really trying. Trying to fight that red cloud and the short signal, and we're just gonna do the opposite. How many of you guys have been trading these total shit coins? What's the degen level like in here? Oh yeah, Mike's in. I know Max was in. Thumpcase, Marty, Seppi. Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it, legends. Glad I'm not the only one. Honestly, you can trade these things at like 2x, and it's no different than trading Bitcoin on like 50x. It's basically the same thing. Just, you know, when one of these coins is pumping, it's going to pump a lot harder. When it's crashing, it's going to crash a lot harder. So it's just basically Bitcoin with a ton of leverage behind it. Right out the gate. What's the market cap on this? Circulating supply, almost the full circulating, or almost the full max supply in the circulating supply. Market cap is, oh wow, over a billion already. The trade volume was just over a billion too. That's insane. That's insane. Trading memes is amazing because the quality of trader is extremely low, so our competition is easier. Taking money from kids. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Maybe I should be paying more attention to these. I haven't really been watching them too much until I saw you posting about them on your Twitter. Other than AI Doge. That one I was trading. What I don't like to see right now on MONG is the lower W's. Add a W, a lower W, another lower W. Wouldn't be too surprised to see us get a little bounce and see a lower high W show its face. Might be starting to trend down a little bit. Such that we kind of lost this. I mean, very micro analyzing, obviously, but let's see if we can find anything, though. I do like to check diagonals just in case. So maybe we just have something going on like that. You know, there's still hope there. There's still hope. I know not everyone's into diagonal lines. I always have been. I honestly prefer diagonal lines a little bit. But I do like to check both. It's just one of those things, you know, we lost this structure here. I like to see if there's any sort of diagonal line forming as well. Kind of tempted to add a little bit to my long, to be honest. Just how we're respecting that trend line with the W's like this. You know, I am going to add a little bit. Let's degen it up here. The shit coin is strong with this one. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm excited to see MDX's decks. I love that, you know, we're heading to those capabilities because especially, you know, living in Canada, I know they are stricter than a lot of other countries on the whole crypto world. So, you know, I figure it's only a matter of days until all of a sudden I'm having a hard time getting on to derivative exchanges. So I love that we're just going to be able to do it right off our ledgers. I mean, It's great to see that we're heading that direction. Oh, another Canadian in here. I think there's about 4 legends in our group that are living in the same city as me, actually. And actually, one more, because I was at a birthday supper last night and someone told me he was going to be joining the community right away. Slinging the ALGO out at the bar last night. If you check out Canada, check out BC. I love BC, the west coast there. Vancouver, Squamish, Whistler, Victoria. Beautiful out there. I'd drive out and meet you there. Drive or fly. It's a pretty far drive. Oh, take the train across Canada. You know, I've considered doing that. That would be a lot of fun. It used to be real cheap, actually. There was it was like back when I was in high school, I think. But I remember you could get a boarding pass where you could take the train anywhere in Canada for like, oh, it was under $200, I think. Man, that would be a lot of fun. I've gone across a couple provinces in a train, but yeah, I've never done the whole country. That would be that'd be quite the trip. Yeah, Toronto's pretty sweet. Montreal would be a lot of fun. The East Coast is fun too. I went to Newfoundland last year for a little vacation. Newfoundland, Halifax, those Easterners, they love to drink. Yeah, climb the Canadian redwoods. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff in our country. That's for sure. Even the cold, like even the winter. I know winter's not for everyone, but you dress for it, and I don't know. There's some cool experiences in the winter. I love playing in the snow. I'm a snowboarder. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Come on, peep. Or yeah, here. Okay, so right now I would love to see us basically get a little bit of a rejection right now, not a serious one, just kind of something like that, and then blast off. That would be absolutely great. But it's not the weather, it's the clothes you wear. Exactly. Um, I know some of my neighbors think I'm crazy because I'll be outside shoveling the driveways and stuff when it's minus 40 degrees outside. I just don't mind. I throw on all my heavy snowboard equipment, have zero skin showing, and just whatever, throw in tunes and go for it. A skier, nice. Yeah, I live to snowboard. I've been snowboarding for like, I don't know, probably 25 years or something like that. Big into the kiteboarding now. Snowboarding and wakeboarding with a giant kite in the air and jumping 30 feet in the air. Oh, nothing better. There's our little rejection. Got our third little rejection, so that's exactly what I like to see. And now I want to see a candle close above, and hopefully that flips into support. And then this peep position will end up being pretty nice. What was my entry here? Basically where we're at, I think. 2750. Oh, I swear I'm drunk here. Yeah, basically where we're at right now. So hopefully I was right about this horizontal support, because right now, as far as this diagonal line goes, it kind of looks like we're longing into resistance. So longing into one resistance, longing at another support. So take it for what it is. But yeah, I would love to see us break this trend line now that we got that third confirmed touch point there. Because when I say that, I don't want to confuse too many people here. Obviously, we have 2 touch points here. This is 1 touch point, in my opinion. I'm not counting those as 2 separate touch points. We're looking at 1, 2, 3. Ideally, they would be very evenly spaced out as well. That's usually when you get best results. But yeah, we'll see what happens. What are the other indicators saying here? Oscillator 4 is kind of in no man's land here. Oscillator 5, kind of the same thing. Not really too clear either direction. We have this little red dot, but not a big overbought big red one or anything yet. And actually, what I would love to see right now, again, very micro analyzing, but seeing this little bit of resistance flip into support, basically, that would be a perfect situation. Seeing our 3rd rejection point, just find our very near resistance support flip and do something like that. That would be ideal. Let's draw it out just in case it happens. Yeah, Rosa. It's not the weather, it's the clothes you wear. A lot of people think I'm insane because the ice just came off the lakes here about 2 or 3 days ago, and I am just itching to get in the water now because I want to go kiteboarding. I want to go kite surfing in the water, and I will literally walk through ice cubes in the lake until I get into kind of a clearing where it's all water, and then ride from there. I usually do that every spring. You just have the proper wetsuit or the proper dry suit. Same thing with winter, being out in the cold, just have the proper gear. What do we got going here? Let's hop back over to the 1 minute on MONG. Oh, just look at that line being respected. BTC also finding support off that line. I actually want to change this very slightly for Bitcoin. See, that might have actually been a very good entry. Basically seeing this, I'm going to treat this like a bit of a swing fail. We had these 2 touch points. The 3rd time we broke down below, but just a wick. And then quite often what you can do with that is just set another, basically set an entry to retest that line after the fake out like that. I mean, that would have been a perfect entry. Very tight stop loss. I'd probably go just kind of, ideally, probably below the whole pattern, but really even something below this if you're using high leverage, really getting to be a bit of a degenerate and really treating that like a fake out. Yeah, that can be a nice tight stop loss kind of a position when looking for a scalp. For Bitcoin now, I'd be kind of looking some kind of a triangle like this. Might have almost a bit of a bull flag, hey? We'll see. We obviously dropped this trend line, respected it as resistance there, so... But I mean, we're not here for Bitcoin. We're here for the 1 minute memes. 17 days till the DEX. Nice. Very curious to see that. If it's anything like the indicators, I know it's going to be clean and pretty. Oh, look at that. Nice. Finding support off that trend line and just blasting right to the top of this red cloud here. See the market flow taking quite a steep curl to the upside as well after Bitcoin found that support there. Nice to see it curling to the upside like that. Go a fourth touch point on this trend line. I guess we could chalk this up to 1, just like these two were 1. But either way, we can see it's obviously an important trend line there. As far as a 1 minute goes, obviously. Oh, getting through the red cloud. Go on, when moon. For those of you who are new here, like I was talking about earlier, if you ever miss these sessions and you want to kind of go over, you know, like I said, I show some trading strategies and stuff like that. If you ever miss these live sessions and you want to catch up, I post all of them on my own YouTube channel here. Check it out. I do my own analysis as well that are much shorter videos, 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute videos. These streams are generally anywhere from 1 hour to, hell, we've sat here bullshitting crypto for 7 hours recently, so it really depends. But yeah, like I said, I'll upload this to my channel, and you'll be able to catch them there as well. Also follow me on Twitter. Sometimes I don't have time to make videos, or I'm just feeling lazy that day, whatever, taking a day off. I do post a little bit of analysis. I share my videos on there and stuff like that. I was talking to you guys about that Doge position I took last stream. Absolutely crushed it. It did end up maxing out at about 1,600%. It was a small trade and whatever. Obviously, those kinds of positions are high risk, just like these shit coins I'm trading right now. So they're generally smaller positions, but yeah, sometimes I share useful analysis there as well. Oh, come on, Pete. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do you ever use the algo's supply and demand zones to influence your bias for potential long or short squeezes? Yeah, absolutely. I just generally like to have my charts fairly clean, so quite often I won't have them on. But yes, I do quite often have the supply and demand on. I actually changed the colors a little bit as well. There we go. Oh, might have made them a little intrusively bright. But yeah, I basically look at the supply and demand a lot like resistance and support. So that's just kind of why I go green and red. Oops. But this is very cool too, you guys. Especially as someone like myself who I love degen trading short time frames. But I also usually have 3 monitors on the go, so I will be trading, playing video games, and watching shows or watching YouTube or whatever all at the same time. And quite often these boxes will map out support the exact way I would when structure changes. So I don't always have to be outlining or mapping out new support and resistance. So it's just a bit of a time saver there too. So I really do like this as well. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, but a very cool feature there. Show it on PEPE? Absolutely. Let's... Supply, demand... I might just remove my own drawings. Let's go with that. Well, yeah, look at that. I mean, that support box, very close to what I just had. And that's why I said, like, quite often this can be such a time saver, because it basically maps out kind of the same support that I look at. Strong resistance up ahead, obviously. As far as a 1 minute goes, I mean, you're going to see these boxes all over the place. But yeah, I mean, you can see that it obviously maps out some important levels of support and resistance. Very cool to see that. We have this demand just below us right now. Will it hold? I don't know. It's looking a little bit weak. I would really like to see us break out above that box. Let's check some different time frames, just out of curiosity. This is one of those times that I love to have this little bit of confluence. You know, we have the reversal warning as we are trading kind of right at the bottom of this demand zone, demand box, and just above the hourly trend. So that's a nice little bit of support confluence we have right now. Obviously, there is resistance too. It's really pinching right now in a very tight range. Kind of hard to say what's going to happen here, but let's hope for that long to play out. What's the 1 hour looking like? 1 hour doesn't look great in my opinion. The fact that we basically had our low, set a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right where we're getting rejected, right where this demand or supply zone is, right where this reversal warning is. Ooh, that's not looking so good, to be honest. I'd really like to see us get some kind of a higher W here and just see that, you know, maybe we are getting some kind of a trend reversal here. We do have this reversal warning down here. We have these potential market bottoms here. RSI divergences. We do have this demand zone here. Yeah, a lot of mixed signals. I really don't like this resistance on the 1 hour though. That looks a little sketchy. Indicator update, just MDX 3. Okay, I will invert color, just change my settings to the way I like it. Signals. Do the visual order, bring to front, scale price chart only, boom, there we go. Never updated? That should have updated it. No, I removed it and re-added. And refresh. That brought me back a little ways. Let's just try that again. Oh, there's not a version number or anything, hey Max? Okay, let's try that. Let's remove MDX ALGO 3, save the chart, refresh the page, and now we will re-add. And now we will visual order, bring to front, scale price chart only. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Now let's just clean things up to the way that I personally like everything. We are on Heiken Ashi. There we go. Let's play with some colors now. Gradient 1, I still just love that. There's also the color palette, hey? We can switch that a little bit to cool. What does that do? Okay, I see. I think that also changes the signal colors, I believe. The green dots, I assume that's the Stotch RSI divergences? Yeah. Here, let's remove my drawings. Okay, everything looks the way I like it. There we go. Now let's check that color palette. Let's go from default to cool. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a little different. Nice. Man, I just love how the ALGO 3 makes the charts look. Cool isn't quite ready yet. Soon, Legends. Perfect, perfect. Big stuff coming. Nice. Go back to default for that. Yeah, what are we on here? We're still on PEPE. Okay. What's going on here? It's still short. Well, that kind of goes against what we were hoping for. I am going to go back to regular candles, just personal preference. I'm going to turn off Heikin-Ashi mode. And I'm just going to map out those couple of lines again. Man, it's really just tapping away at that resistance, hey? Really tapping away. I like exact touch points. What other kind of find all sorts of degen trend lines here. There we go. There we go. Look at it trying to push now. Oh, and what was my entry? We got to keep an eye on that. PEPE 2750. That's where my entry is. I gotta change the color of these trend lines if that's gonna be my entry color. Something like so. Yeah, I'd love to see a breakout now. Just now that we've broke out after so many touch points along that trend line, again, take it for what it is. It is a 1 minute trend line, but it's got more than my 3 touch point requirement, so I would love to see it flip into support now. Holy, that was a quick wick down. I never did update my stop loss, so I'm still in that one. I think I should probably Maybe I'll just put it somewhere in here. Still give it a little wiggle room for those wicks. Oh, already a reversal warning there. I don't want to see that. Get out of here with that. PEPE Bybit. Oh yeah, I'm trading it on MEXC right now, so that's why I had this chart up. But yeah, Bybit probably does have way better volume, hey? Oh yeah, this chart looks a little different, hey? Not as much history on this chart. What kind of a trend line can we find here? See, this one's actually quite a bit different. Yeah, the structure of this chart, just for how accurate I like my trend lines, that's actually quite a different chart now. Oh, that is spot. What am I doing here? Oh, have to go on their actual exchange to show it. I'm not going to bring that up right now. Yeah, I haven't actually watched the volume on MEXC. Like I said, they have some early coins on there and stuff, but I have no idea what the volume is like or anything like that. This would be our Binance chart. Looks more like Bybits. Okay, perfect. What can we find? We might... We're just going to freestyle a couple lines here. Let's see if we can find anything significant here. Honestly, I'd probably be looking at something a little more gradual like this. Oh, never got its third touch point. That blew past pretty darn quick. I think we're more... Yeah, I don't know, even something like that. Either way, we're climbing. Long signal. Hasn't actually closed yet, so... what are the other indicators? Oscillator 4 is looking a little bit overextended here. No bearish pivot yet, and it does look like these bands are just kind of breaking out, but so I mean a little bit of a mixed signal there. Oscillator 5 down here, kind of in no man's land. I do like that the green money flow is here. Oh, started to see some red dot warnings, but yeah, it is nice to see the green money flow there, because at the end of the day, money talks. Oh yeah. Oh, Mong not doing the same thing. Let's see some kind of a double bottom here would be nice. Fill the wick and go. Rather than closing candle bodies below my line there. Come on, Le PEPE. Impress us. Do the thing. So we do have the market flow below us, which could be some nice support. We do have this long signal. We have the 5-minute EMA there. Probably don't even have enough data for the hourly yet. I'm not super confident on this trend line, to be honest. But so far, it is technically holding. But yeah, it doesn't really have the 3 touch points before breaking that I personally like to see anyways. But yeah, we still definitely have that horizontal support down here. So basically, as long as we don't drop these lows here, if we set another lower low, I mean, if we were just looking for some kind of a hint where this price might be going, let's say we end up dropping this level, maybe we end up getting some kind of a slightly lower low along this trend line, some kind of a 3rd touch point. That would be something I'd be interested in watching for. $27.70. Yeah, $27.50 is where I got in. I think. Let me check. $27.50. You know, for how little confidence I have in this this trend line here, it is actually being respected quite nicely, at least for the time being. A 50x on PEPE. You, sir, have a set of nuts on ya. Good on ya. Legendary. Legendary, as Max would say. Yeah, no 69xers allowed on that one yet, hey? Kind of trash exchange is that? Won't even allow us to 69x a meme coin. Why even have a degen coin if you can't allow degen activities? Total trash. Oof. That volatility. How much is that wick in every few seconds? That's like a 3% wick in a matter of seconds. Oh, meme coins. Let's rephrase that. Oh, shit coins. Oh, is that Bitlord's thing? That's funny. I haven't seen him post anything in a while. I haven't been following him much. What's the opposite of a nuke? What, I guess moon, hey? What's moon? When moon? Yeah, I've only watched him on Twitter. I've never actually watched him on YouTube or anything. Nice to see it. Just earlier, very recently, Bitcoin did have that higher W. I do like to see that. I'm going to have to update all my indicators here. Obviously, only the PEPE chart has the newest algos. Trend's a little overextended here. That would be that orange dot here. But obviously, I'm too much of a degen to take any profits here. Lambo or nothing. What's Pornhub doing? Is that... Oh boy. Uniswap? Would this be the right one? Would this... Yeah, not a ton of data. This is probably the one. Oh, that could honestly be a beautiful double bottom down here. No info on the oscillator 4 or 5. Yeah, the indicators look totally different on this chart. Hopefully I'm even on the right chart. Look at that potential resistance support flip though. What if this thing's just about to blast off? What kind of a trend line can we find here? High-low candles with the indicators. Oh, like this, you're saying. I should have the indicators. I gotta bring to front. Weird. I don't know if it's just because this chart is weird. I noticed that with AI Doge, specifically, that the charts with the algos weren't working properly on some charts versus others. I don't know if there's just something weird on some of those degen coins where there's not enough volume or just something weird with the exchanges. I'm not sure. Try BTC. Like this. Candles, high, low. Yeah. It must be something weird with the shitcoin charts because, like I said, I noticed that with AI Doge on the MEXC chart last week. The algos look totally different on that chart for some reason. I'm not sure why. Oh, man, is this thing volatile. Just moving 2 or 3% every minute. Something that I don't like here, which if I wasn't in such a degen position right now, if I was actually looking to be scalping, kind of getting in, getting out, I would consider taking at least some profits here, even though it's a very small amount, just because the indicators are kind of lining up right now. The Algo 3 is showing that we might be a little overextended. The Oscillator 4 is showing the bearish reversal kind of at the top of the bands there. And the Oscillator 5 also has this big red overbought dot there. One thing, however, is the money flow, like I was talking about, is still green here. We did just kind of break out of this pattern. Like I said, I don't know how much confidence I have in this trend line, but it is what it is. We're just going to hope that we're still holding on to that horizontal support either way. So that's just one way that I like to use the indicators together. Is I was talking earlier about all three lining up together. That's generally something that I consider scalping on. Not right now, just because we have the market flow right below us. We have the trend right below us. And yeah, although this might be calling a top, I'm just seeing too many mixed signals. So I'm just going to hang on to this. Might regret it. We'll see. Just look at that resistance cloud doing work on MONG. Seems quite reliable. Yeah. What are you on there? You're on a 15 on MONG there? Kind of want to see how it reacts to this upward sloping trend line. It looks like your chart might be a little different there. Yours looks like it's already rounding over a little bit. Yeah, that does look like it might nuke for you. Maybe I should think about bailing on this position. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off just a little longer. We are just hugging that trend right now. If we close some candle bodies below basically what it's trying to do right now, I might bail on the rest of this position. Even if it's still the right position, I would just be losing a little bit of confidence, and I'd rather not be in a position than to be in something I'm questioning like that. Let's just get this exactly how I want it, so that it can be exactly as predicted. Just looking for a very accurate trend line, which I don't know if that's the right thing to do right now on such a shit coin, but that's the line we're going to be watching right now, so I'll give it a little more wiggle room. But yeah, it's definitely starting to look a little weak there. Your chart definitely has a lot more data than mine does. A lot more price history on Uniswap there, so yours might be a little more accurate there. Dex tools. You guys can still see this, right? Everything might be pretty ugly looking. I don't use Dex tools too much, but especially not on this whatever fucking browser I'm on, but yeah, that doesn't look super great. See if we can find any bigger trend lines as well. If I were to map out just kind of a bunch of random trend lines that catch my eye real quick. Basically, if one drops, we probably hit the next one. Hopefully this doesn't change my lines too much. Yeah, kind of something. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I should be in that position anymore. Oh, I might have, I'm sure I got stopped out there on the rest. Yeah, rest of my position got stopped out when we dropped down below this. Yeah, that might go for a little nukey nuke now. Oh, you couldn't see my Dex Tools chart? Oh, that's funny. Oh, it was probably just showing this browser. It wasn't showing the other one. Just how my OBS is set up. That's okay. This is the one we're more into right now anyways. Up 13% on this one so far, but as we just saw, I mean, that can change any second. Oh, Nicholas! You made it!
What's up?
What's up? No, he's gone. We're just checking some just checking some DGen meme coins on the old 1 minute here, brother. True DGen fashion.
I might actually load up $100 and dick around with you.
Yeah, nice. MONG is that's gonna need a reassessment here. Yeah, what do we got going on here? Yeah, I'd love to see some bullish, just some bullish W's creep up here. Actually, our last two bullish reversing W's were technically climbing to the upside. So I would love to see another one now. Oscillator 4 has cooled off quite a bit, kind of in no man's land now. Same with the Oscillator 5. And the money flow never did switch to red, which is nice. Even with that little pullback on the indicator while it cooled off, never did flip red there yet. Yeah, Mong is monging out. Should go hit the bong before I rip some more Mong. Oh, here we go. Oh, now I can watch him while you guys watch me. We can all watch Nick. What you doing over there, big guy? Getting your degen levels up? Taking some performance enhancers? uh. Is it so much to ask for this to just go straight to the moon? Just shatter all-time highs and do another 100% from there? Just real quick for stream? Is that so much to ask? I'm gonna remove my triangle here. You know, one nice thing here as well is, generally speaking, here, let me just, yeah, whatever. Generally speaking, if a trend is very strong, we usually really respect the hell out of the 382 Fibonacci. And the fact that on this pullback we've actually got all this trading action above that 382, I think it's quite likely that we do test some of these fibs a little higher. I was talking about the 786, 886 earlier. Just the fact that we never saw this harsh rejection here, I think it makes sense that we do climb a little bit higher. We actually did get very close to the 618. I'm not sure if he's talking or not. He might just be muted. I know he has the tendency to talk with the mic muted.
No, I haven't had my whole setup set up in a while, so I had to make sure everything's working again.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Well, I can't even find my vape pen here. What kind of substances is the guy supposed to get his hands on around here? Let's have to get my rush from fucking trading degen coins. Oh, what's he got there?
I just harvested a plant.
Oh, nice. Um, just cause.
Gelato 44.
Nice, nice. Hey Legends, just because, you know, this stream has been going for a couple hours now and it does take a long time to upload these when they get too long and the charts aren't moving a ton. Hopefully you did find this video useful. I'm gonna wrap up the stream so I can start uploading things, but I will still stick around. We're still gonna hang out here. I just want to start uploading shit and whatnot. So if you guys did appreciate this video, if you aren't here with us live and you're watching it on my YouTube channel, just do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. With that, we do these, you know, I try to do 1 or 2 of these every week. There's also other coaches in the community who put on these live stream events. So if you do love these indicators as well as just sitting in on live streams, definitely get on board with the MDX ALGO community. I do have referral link down below in my comments, so if that's something that interests you, by all means hop on. Super supportive, super tight community here, glad to be a part of it. With that, until next time my friends, stay safe, peace.